If you've ever thought about starting a business or launching some sort of business, or maybe you just had an idea about something cool that could really work in this day and age, that maybe is your next $1 million idea, $1 billion idea, or maybe just something to bring an extra few $100s in per day. So before you do that, there's a few things that I want to mention, because when it comes to business, when it comes to putting something out there, it's been shown that within 1 year, around 60% of businesses fail. Within the 5 years, around 90% of them fail. Okay, and I'm not saying this to scare anyone. I'm saying this because this is the reality. And I don't want any of you conscious creators, you wealth yogis out there, to fall into that trap of thinking, oh my gosh, it's so easy, let's do this. Okay, business can be simple, but if you know the right strategies, if you don't, then that's when people fall into the 90% category where businesses fail. So to fall into the 10%, let's learn these few strategies. But before we get into it, let's cue the show reel. So after training literally thousands of people in abundance, in law of attraction, in business over these last couple of years alone, what I've seen is that there's a couple of reasons why people generally don't get the success that they experience or that they think they should experience. Okay, so like I said earlier, 90% of businesses within the first 5 years have been shown to fail. Now this is because if we look at even just say business teachings, a lot of the business teachings are taught by people, yes, who may have a degree, who may have the theory, but practical knowledge, like the question I always ask is, the person I'm learning from, do they have a multi-million-dollar business? Or is it just a case where maybe they have some authority to share some things from a textbook? Now I'm not saying both are wrong or anything's wrong. Obviously the textbook knowledge works, it does what it does. But from what I've seen on my journey, especially with helping like these our wealth yogis and thousands of people who come to our events, it comes down a lot to the results that people have. So what I've seen is literally a few things that will especially help you if you've got an idea that you want to launch out there, you want to make a few extra dollars in the day, you want to do something extra to amplify your income, your abundance. Then first of all, whenever we start a business, whenever we start pushing something out there to the market, in our minds, we know the benefit of it, right? You think about it. If you got a new, let's even say fitness regime, you know the benefits, you know all the technical words or the technical jargon that people need. But chances are, when someone's out there walking around their day-to-day life, they're not thinking, hey, I need intermittent fasting, for example. The majority of people out there don't know the benefits of fasting. But if your product's to do with intermittent fasting and you're saying, hey, 5 key things that you can do to start intermittent fasting today, only the people who know about intermittent fasting will be attracted. Now, when it comes to starting business, we're always talking about how can you get the best growth, the quickest growth in the fastest possible way. If that's the case, what we always recommend is how can you reach out to the majority? So that means even the people right now who don't have a clue about the need for your product, your service, your message. Okay? The way we do this is we think, before we had that moment in our mind where we were like, hey, fasting is the way forward. Fasting is something that I need to include in my life. What was the breakthrough that you had? Right? Chances are there's a lot of foodies in this world who enjoy their food. So chances are it wasn't a case whereby you were like, oh my gosh, I don't get to eat. This is so amazing. It was a case that maybe you had some health issue. Maybe you wanted to lose some weight. Maybe something happened where you was like, I'm just waking up with not enough energy today. Whatever that thing in your mind that happened, you got to think the pain that you was going through and write this down. The first step is knowing the pain that the potential customer, your potential customer that you can serve, is going through right now. Once you know the pain, now when you're doing what we can discuss as marketing, when you're putting your message out there, your branding, which is something that we can discuss in other videos if you guys would like to. If you'd like for us to talk a bit more about marketing, branding, that sort of thing, just type in the comments, marketing, branding, or whatever you like us to discuss. So when you're doing your branding, your marketing, now you know where that person is. Now your job is how can you bring them on the journey to take them to that point. What we call step number 2 is the pleasure that they're experiencing. Because the biggest problem is that a lot of the times when you know the solution, you go in straight at the pleasure, you go in straight at the solution. But the problem is a lot of people don't know that they need that solution, don't know that there's a need for, maybe we call it heavy metal detoxing, whether we call it fasting for a day, whether we call it for this particular supplement. But if we speak at the level of what people are going through, for them to realize, hey, this problem that I'm experiencing links to this solution that you have, then it makes it a lot easier, not only for you to reach out to those people, but for them to see the benefit of your product, your service, your message. So that is the first step of the pain that they're going through. Second step is knowing the pleasure you can take them to. Now the third step is all about becoming clear on the way you present this message. All about becoming clear on the way that you portray this value that you have to offer. Now I know some of you watching this will think, okay, this is a cool video, but I don't really have any value right now. I don't know how I can maybe make an impact in this world. I don't have a product that I could help people with. But there's two things here. The first is knowing that everybody has some value within them. If you just ask yourself, have you gone through an experience, maybe a challenging experience, right? Where you thought, maybe I don't know how to get through this. Then some time later, whether it's a week, a day, maybe a month, you got through it. Whether it's heartbreak, whether it's business, finances, whatever it is, did you get through it? If the answer to that is yes, then do you think that there's some people right now who are in that moment going through some sort of pain who would like to know how you got through that pain? Chances are yes, right? So, meaning that you have some sort of value, you have something that you can share with people to get them from pain to pleasure. So that's the first thing. Second thing is like, you know what, Josh, I don't really want to share that right now, but there's something cool that I'm using that I would love people to know about. The second thing is, how can we spoke about this in another video, as in being a deal maker or being some sort of affiliate to share that message. Affiliate being someone who just knows something of value. It might not be your product service message, but you can offer it out there, maybe for some sort of commission, some sort of cut. So that's the first thing, is knowing the value that we have. The next thing that we need to focus on and get clear on is now, what is the way that we can make it visible? Are we going to do some posts? Are we going to do some marketing campaign? Are we going to do some specific Facebook ads, YouTube ads that we speak about as well, that we teach? If you'd like to learn more about Facebook ads, YouTube ads, leave it in the comments so we know exactly what you guys want for our upcoming videos. After that, you got to think of, what is the system in place? Okay, I've got someone who's in this pain. I know that they want this pleasure. I know that how to get them there. But what is the system that I use to get them there? How are you going to deliver that product, that service, that message? Is there a system in place to get people engaged? And the final thing that we always share as part of the Wealth Yogi vision, Wealth Yogi roadmap that we always share, is all to do with now. You've got some value. You've got some people who know about this. You've got a system in place to help people. But chances are, if you are looking for that more freedom lifestyle-esque type of vibe, then it's all about now thinking, how can I do it in a way where I'm not stuck in that business, stuck in that system, but in a way where I can automate that business, that system. What that will do, and this is something that's very cool, right? This stage is all about now having the automation to have that more freedom lifestyle. So those are the four things that you need to focus on: is value, having some sort of visibility, knowing the system in place to convert that value, whether it's to give them some inspiration, whether it's a system to maybe let them to purchase something. And then the final thing is, how can we automate it? But before we even get into that, it's knowing what is the pain that our potential customers are going through, what is the pleasure that we can take them through, and then working our journey to take them on that transition. So those few things will definitely get you started with business, because if you go into business without taking this principle into this concept into your way of thinking, then a lot of times people go straight in at this end, not thinking about all the background work of how they're going to make it happen. So to make sure that you're part of the 10%, focus on those few things: the pain, the pleasure, the value that you have, the visibility, the conversion, and automating the whole thing. Then a lot of the times what we see is it makes it so much easier, especially when starting out, to maintain the momentum, to know what the full vision is for your business that you're starting. So if you got any value from this, make sure to hit the like button. Let us know what you thought in the comments. Let us know also, what's your business that you're focusing on? Maybe what's that idea that you want to put out there? And then when we see your comments, we can maybe do a video, explain how best we could even help you with that. What are the things that we would get you guys to focus on when starting that? Other than that, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification button next to it, so that you're notified every week when we're posting these videos for your business, your mindset, your spirituality, and everything in general, to make sure that you have the best year yet, the best life yet. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next video. Namaste.